So I think I've done one video showing my glazing setup previously, but this is where the magic happens. It's my garage. But these are all the raw ingredients I use. I make most of my glazes from raw ingredients as opposed to buying them pre-made. And I thought I would show a little kiln opening. The only thing is I have a very old kiln and it needs two hands to open the lid. So I will have to get back to you once I've opened it. So most of these items are things that I've made over the last few weeks, and you might recognize some of them. I tried some different combinations that I haven't tried before. This is a mix of this color, which is floating orange from Old Forge on Glazy, but I call it Galaxy because it kind of looks like a galaxy. And I've mixed that in with my turquoise and cornflower. This is straightforward turquoise. I think it looks nice over the red clay because it tends to break. This is also the turquoise, and then I decided I wanted to try and break up the surface because it's kind of a large surface. And I added a little bit of cornflower on top of it. When we get into, these are some magnets I'm making. This is an old spill that I still have to get rid of. And then we can get into some of these. This is why I call it Galaxy, because it kind of breaks to a bluish color over the top. Probably not quite as thick as it should have been. I don't know if you can see the purpley blue coming out in the inside of that. This is also the Galaxy over one of the carved vases that I made. This is a little luminary that I made. Oh, looks like there might be a hole that got filled in there. But again, you can really see how the turquoise breaks on the red clay and gives you that really nice variegated color. This is the chip and dip set I made, and the garlic grates. And one thing I've noticed is that I have to make sure that it does break on the cuts because it won't be sharp enough to actually grate the garlic otherwise. These are a couple of little wine tumblers I made a few weeks ago. I decided to do them basically a range of colors and didn't make them sets because I find people tend not to buy them as a set, and then I end up having like odd numbers anyway, so I decided to have fun. That's just a little prep bowl. I call this my coastal combination of the cornflower and turquoise. And sometimes when it gets too thick like that turquoise, you don't get to see the pattern quite as much as you should. This is the bottom layer. This is the large pasta bowl. Again, I was trying to, because it's such a large surface, I wanted to break it up a little bit by adding some cornflower on top of it. One of the colanders I made. This is one of the bowls with cornflower on it. It can be a little intense, which is why I tend to try and break it up. I have a range of the just the cornflower. One of the garlic graters in the Galaxy color, and that's probably the best combination. I really like how it gives you the little pockets of blue. This is a glaze that, strangely enough, I've been using since like over 20 years ago, but when I started using it again, it started overfiring, and I'm not sure it's because I upgraded my kiln and I am firing it to a lower temperature, but it's not quite as bright as it used to be, which is a little bit sad because it was a nice color. This is the chip and dip or veggie and dip plate, and the bowl that goes with it is right here. Sadly, I put the glaze on a little too thick, so you can't really see the impressions in the bottom. And this is the rest of the load of what I like to call Blue Lagoon. It should break to a nice brown like it does, but there should be more variation in the blue. So I guess I will keep trying with that. There it is with its plate. And finally, some of the mugs that I made. So this is the full set of wine goblets I made. I tried a couple of different designs. One which was sort of squared on the top with a thumbprint. And then your basic bowl shaped, relatively open at the top, which I think would probably be the easiest to drink from. Then I thought I would try more of a, almost a tankard kind of look to it. And then finally more of a wine glass shape, I guess, where it's a little bit closed in at the top. Anyway, you can let me know which shape you think is the best. I'll leave you with a little visit from some cats. My kid Ren makes the cats for me, and it's funny, they actually seem to be one of the more popular items at craft fairs that I've gone to.